for tuning in. This is optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Planet X Caelus, or Caelus, or whatever you want to call them. This is basically Planet X's interpretation of Swoop from the Fall of Cybertron video game. And I have no idea how to say that. I'm just going to call it Caelus. As you can see, real nice packaging on here, showing us the chest of the actual figure. This being the second figure from Planet X, the first one being that massive Genesis figure, which was meant to recreate the Omega Supreme from the War for Cybertron game. When I first saw this at BotCon this past year, I got a chance to actually talk to some of the people responsible for this, and I was really very excited about it. But packaging wise, looks very nice. It's pretty simple. You come around here to the back and you got a nice image of the toy with a background very similar to how the game looked. You got nothing really. I mean, you got some warning stuff on here. It's a pretty simple package. Nothing really overly extravagant or anything like that, but I guess it does the job. But that's about it for the packaging. So let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the not Swoop opened up and out of its packaging. And really looking at this thing, it is an absolute wonderful representation of Swoop from the video game. They did a terrific job with this. Planet X has really impressed me. I mean, their Genesis figure was one of my absolute favorites and really captured the look of that character. And this Swoop figure does the exact same. I'm absolutely impressed. The plastic quality on here is also seriously wonderful. I mean, everything on here feels really sturdy and very official for the most part. I know I seem to say that, but a lot of these third-party companies really are hitting their mark with quality lately, and I'm very happy about it. As you can see, he's got a very impressive wingspan when you get the wings actually folded out. He does come with a couple accessories. He has these missiles on here, which in the video game, I don't necessarily remember him having them, so they're a little bit extra, and my guess is more of a homage kind of to how the original Swoop was. He also does come with two swords that are very much like Grimlock's. Now, bringing Grimlock's in here, you can see that there is a similarity between them. I mean, this is the one that he used, and it's a much bigger sword, but you can see a lot of similarities between them. And again, I don't remember him using these swords, but you do get two of them, so it's however you want to interact with the figure and such. And then also, one thing that you can remove these, pull these out, and if you wanted to, you can actually take these, and they have these holes on the side. You can peg these swords on the side, and then you can have this underneath the wing as well. It's, again, personal preference. For me, I like keeping these little hands on the outside. The actual CGI model, if you look at them, has them on the inside, but as you can see, they just take or peg out and peg back in. You can put them in there, but I think for a Pteranodon, it looks a little bit better having them a little bit further out. I think I just, for my personal preference, I like them out here on the further tips of the wings, and then that allows you to take these missiles and put them right on the inside here. So I really do dig this guy. It's very impressive, and I really do hope that they come through and make the rest of the Dinobots from the video game. As I said, I spoke to a lot of the people responsible for making this toy at this past BotCon, and one thing that they were actually considering doing was including a cylinder kind of thing that would sort of recreate the prison cell that he was in. And I'm glad that they didn't include it. I remember talking to him about it and saying that I think you should not include it because it would make the price even higher. So I'm happy that they went the route of not including it and keeping the price a little bit low. The price is already a little bit higher, but with all the molded detail in here and as intricate as this figure is, I really think that it's well worth the price. And I think depending on how well this figure sells will determine whether or not they make extra Dinobots. And I really hope that it sells well so that we can get those other ones. Now in this Pteranodon mode, you can see that his mouth does open, so you get that. One thing that does suck is the robot head doesn't really lock into place here, so when you move it, you can see that it detaches from the actual robot head. I wish that actually locked in somehow. That definitely does suck, and it's probably the weakest part about this entire figure, but you can just, you know, I mean, there's no way, you have to hold the whole thing in order to get it to stay together. But really nice. You got some nice light piping here on the Pteranodon's eyes. You can see that his wings do rotate here. You can see for the articulation, they move forward and back, and you got the rotation bit right there. These little flaps here also move. It's part of the transformation, but they go up. You got a joint right here. You got a joint right here. So a lot of articulation in the wings itself. You come down here, and then you got the little feet that are also articulated. One other kind of cool thing is that he is meant to interact with the official Hasbro Grimlock, and he's also meant to scale well with them. So Grimlock was a very imposing character, and as a T-Rex, he's going to be much bigger than a Pteranodon. But what you can actually do is take these little bits, fold these down, just like so, and you got these little hook sections here. These are actually meant to come around here. Oh, I knocked it off. And then on the back, it's kind of hard to see, but right in here, these are meant to loop inside there, and you can actually now have him carrying them, angling up so that you can see that. You have this. So, well, it doesn't lock in, and you can see that it falls out, but it is meant to have it where you can carry Grimlock like he did in the video game, and I think that's terrific. I love that interactivity. That's a wonderful touch itself. And then you just take these, fold these back up, just like so, and now they're stored for his bird mode, I guess, or whatever. It's not a bird, it's a Pteranodon. I mean, I keep calling it the right name, and there's no reason for me to call it the bird because it's not a bird. Now, the transformation for this guy is actually fairly simple, but don't let that really dissuade you from appreciating the complicated nature of this. First, what you want to do, come around here. You can leave these on. I guess I'll leave those on. You can remove these. You do need to angle them just to fold these up, so it's personal preference if you want to remove those or not. So whatever you want to do. Then just take these arms on the side, lift these up just like so, kind of straighten them out, bring these feet down, and then you're going to see these little sections right here that tab into his chest. Just loosen these. They tab in there pretty good. And fold these all the way down and extend them out like so. Then rotate them around here at the upper part of the thigh, like that. Fold these little bits up. Take these little hook sections, you're going to fold these back, and then these fold back to create his heel. Then take this flap section here, fold that around, filling in the rest of his leg. Do that on this side as well. Fold that back, tuck that up and under, bring this back just like so. And there you have his legs pretty much done. Then, well, you can take these, untab this, and then fold out his hands like so. Bring that back and up. Do that on this side. Bring this out. If I had fingernails, it'd be a much better, easier process. There we go. Just like that. Then you want to take this section here and actually pull this back section here away from the actual body. It tabs in, and you want to separate that. Then separate these on the side, and then this entire section actually angles up like so. It's very small and subtle. You have this little, you can see it goes from down there to up there, and this is one minor part that's a problem. I'll touch on that here in a second, but it just pops right back on there. Then when you angle this up, you now slide these bits up, lock them in on the upper section like so. Bring this down. This just kind of sits there. It does angle down a little bit further. You have this section that slots just like that, brings the head up. Then these wings then will lock back into those same holes that you separated them from before. It's right there in the center. So just lock that in. Then these wings tuck up like so. You can position these however you want. Then you gotta hold this and then bring this down. Just like so. You got some nice ratchet joints in there. Rotate that around, bring his head up like so. Bring these up. And again, it really depends on how you want to position these wings. If you want more of a G1 look, you can just leave them like so, and then you can fold these back like that, giving it a little bit more of a G1 kind of look and feel with his wings there and the missile launchers right there. Or if you wanted to do a game look, you can just fold these back like that. And his game look just had the wings pointing up like so. So it really is a personal preference. This makes him very back heavy, however. So it's difficult to get him to stand. You have to really position these and angle them. It's not easy to do to get a balancing act. So for me, I honestly like the more G1 look. I just tuck these back and around like so, keeping them more kind of like this, straighten them out, and then again I don't have the flat surface here. It's hard to tell, but this is actually kind of rounded and it goes up, so getting him positioned just properly. Here you have Swoop in his robot mode, and as you can see, this guy displays absolutely beautifully. When you get him all decked out with his swords and his missiles and everything, this guy just looks terrific. Now, getting these out of the way so that we can actually focus on the toy. Sometimes I do get some good poses going, and that's pretty much it. But this guy really is a wonderful, wonderful figure. There are a few minor problems that I do have with him, but nothing that I really think should take away from the overall enjoyment of the toy itself. I think it's really good. Now, getting him actually to stand on this table is a little bit of a pain in the butt sometimes, but Planet X has done a phenomenal job recreating the actual look. And like I said, the transformation is simple, but when you get it and you do it, it's really impressive how they're able to take the Dinobot mode and make it look as accurate as it does, and then very nicely and successfully also make it look accurate in terms of his robot form. For all intents and purposes, this is a absolutely perfect version for Swoop. It just looks really good. Now, for a comparison, like I said, he is meant to scale with the Grimlock figure that we got officially. And bringing Grimlock in, you can see that, again, it is a wonderful comparison. And these two really look terrific together. The only thing that's really missing on this guy would be the Dinobot sort of logo, or the Lightning Strike Force, or whatever they were called in the video game logo, I guess. But I'm fairly certain that something like Repro Labels could come around and give this guy that. But when I get these two together and I look at them, it just really makes me want the rest of the Dinobots. I mean, us as fans have really been neglected in terms of Dinobot Transformers for a very long time. And that's one thing that I told the people when I was talking to them about this. They could probably give us all the Dinobots, and providing the price is pretty good and the figure is really solid, people will buy it. In terms of the articulation form, it is really very well done. The head's not on a ball joint, but it has two different swivel points. You can get it swiveling left and right, and then it swivels forward and back. So you can get it looking back, and you can see a really nice light pipe in here. Zooming in so that you can see that a little bit better, and hopefully it stays focused where it's supposed to. You can see a real nice head sculpt on there, very accurate to how it looks in the game, and again, nice light piping on it. I mean, that just looks really nice. Then you come down, I mean, a lot of real good detail on the rest of this figure. Everything on here looks great. I mean, even the arm detail, all the panel lines and everything on here really is exceptional. You can see the inside of the leg looks wonderful. The front shin looks wonderful. The outer leg, everything on here, molded wise, looks freaking amazing. Now the wings, they like I said, they are articulated as part of the transformation itself. I think these wings actually come out. Oh no, they don't. Okay, those stay in. So I don't think those are gonna pop out. But getting these kind of lifted up and out of the way. The shoulders here rotate, they move in and out, but when you do move it, this section here will flop down. It kind of bugs me, but it's not something that's overly bad, I guess. You just have to fold that back up to keep that look. I do wish that stayed more locked in, but I'm glad that the articulation is still there. They rotate at the upper part of the bicep, they bend at the elbow, nothing at the wrist. The waists are also locked in. Oh no, I'm wrong. They actually do rotate around a little bit. So you got that. The hips move forward and back. They move in and out. They're on a just swivel joint. They rotate at the upper part of they bend at 2 points here at the knee. So you get a very wide range of motion there. And then the feet can actually pivot forward and back. So there's a lot of articulation in here, and you can get a lot of poses with them. And like you could see at the beginning, a lot of the posing that you can do looks really very cool. So everything on here that you could want is represented in the figure, and it's a great looking toy. Now, I know a lot of people have complained about the price on them, but looking at all the molded bits on here and how intricate the piece is, I mean, this isn't it looks fairly simple, but it really isn't. I mean, all these pieces just look terrific on here. So the price for me really isn't all that bad, and I'm having a hard time getting them to stand, but please understand that is not a problem with the toy at all. It's the rounded nature of my table here. But I want to emphasize the fact that I really think that the value is really here for this toy. I know people complain about third-party items quite often, and it's a fair comparison, or a fair complaint. But you have to understand that these are not mass-released products, and they are going to have higher price points simply because they're not a lot made for it. And this actually looks like this rotates for some reason. Oh, it does actually rotate. I don't know. I guess you can swivel that out and give it a more thruster look. I think that's actually how the game kind of looked too. Also, these bits do articulate up and down. These bits right here pop off very easily if you push them down. If you pull them up, they don't really pop out, but pushing them down, these things fall off very easily. It's kind of annoying, but I'd prefer that they pop off instead of break. So it's bad, but it really, I don't think it's a huge problem or anything like that. But be careful about those because they're small pieces, so you could lose them. But I mean, I'm trying to sell you guys on this, and I really think that there's a lot of quality in this figure, and I really feel that the price is very warranted in this toy. This is really, and in terms of the plastic quality, this really is one of the most well-made third-party toys that I've gotten. This feels very legit. It doesn't feel fragile at all. It's just extremely high quality and very well made. Now to transform them back again, if you took these missiles off at any point in time, you'd probably want to put them back on. Just come around here, take the head, angle this back and put it just inside the dinosaur head. Again, I wish it would lock in. It's kind of unfortunate that they didn't figure out a way to actually get it to lock in and stay in, but you could also just have them walk around like this, I guess. Come around here, we're going to lift this little section up, tuck his hands inside there, do that on this side as well, tuck that up and inside just like so. Kind of angle these back, just get them out of the way. Going to rotate them so that this little peg here is facing forward. Just kind of put these up, get them out of the way. Come around here to the back, take this, loosen this up from the actual torso bit, then take this entire section, slide this down. You probably want to rotate this little thruster around. It comes off, so it's, I don't know why you would want to rotate it or whatever, but there, you could put it like so. Then come around here to this, take this section at his chest, rotate this down, peg that in, and see, these pieces pop off. Like I said, it's really very simple to pop them off, and I'm just going to pop them off to keep them from falling anymore. So we're going to rotate this down, peg this in along the side, come around here to these legs, you can rotate these around, you can fold these, just getting them out of the way, then bring this section in, tab this down, angle the missiles out, let you fold out these little feather bits, I guess, so do that on this side as well, bring this down, and tab that into place along his back, just like so. Then you want to fold these out and grab that, fold that like so, fold these up and inside the actual foot, rotate these. Oh, actually, you're not supposed to put these away. I'm sorry. let me get these back out. These are kind of a pain in the butt. There we go. These actually have to stay out because you bring these up and then lock those into his chest. Give that a nice little push. Do that. Oh, and actually, oops, forgot something. Take this, fold that out, do that on both sides. Then bring this up, push that, lock that into position. Do that on this side as well. Bring this up, push that little peg into his chest, get that position properly, push that all the way in. Kind of straighten these out a little bit. You can fold these out, bring these bits up and over his shoulders, and then you bring these down, and then on the inside here is a little rectangular hole that you bring this in and angle this along the side. You kind of have to keep the arm bent out a little bit to get it to be flush, and then give that a nice little push. Do that on this side as well. Lock that in on that side, where there it is. Give that a nice little push. Straighten out these wings. Fold these bits out. Fold that out. And, oh, well, his little wing came, there we go. Fold that down like that. Fold these out. Then these little bits, if they popped off, put them back on. And honestly, I don't even know how they're actually supposed to go. I think maybe they go on this. Yeah, I think they go like that. Something like that, I think. We'll try it like so. And then tab that in. You can put these up just to give him a little bit more of a feather kind of look. But once you get that all done, here you have Swoop or Caelus, or whatever you want to call him, back in his dinosaur mode. Now, as I said multiple times in this video, I really do like this figure. I think his dinosaur mode looks terrific. I think the transformation is fun to do, and his robot mode looks absolutely spot on and amazing. The only real qualm that some people may have with it is the price. And I will give you that he is a little bit expensive. But third-party figures are very limited in their production run, and it costs a lot to make these, which is why the price for these things are usually pretty high. But I really feel that even with the price being as high as it is, I think that we are getting a wonderful and high quality figure. For a company that right off the bat created a gigantic figure with Genesis, they really took a lot of gambles making that figure. And I'm happy to see that they've continued by producing this great figure. I really do like him, and I highly recommend people pick him up. As I said, we're not getting a lot of Dinobot figures, and this is one that I really think a lot of people will enjoy and love having in their collection. So if you are interested in getting this guy, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Big Bad Toy Store where this guy's in stock, and you can add him to your collection today. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews, all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. Also, check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.